questions on area and parameter. And by the way, area parameter is going to be a very huge component in your child's upcoming maths exams. Okay, later I'll share with you the different component for the different topic. Okay, so your child will learn all the different skills to score out for area parameter. Okay, and of course, your child also going to win this crash course on electricity. Right, I believe electricity is also a heavy component in science exams, right, Andy?
Yep, it's also heavy and it's also pretty abstract. Means that the students need to imagine how electric current works, how it flows in complicated electric circuits. So this crash course will aim to teach your child both the easy and the difficult segments of electricity questions and how to apply the answering techniques.
Yes, okay. And the total worth of these two courses is $300. Okay, now parents, if you want to win these two courses, please type wow in the chat. Okay, thank you, Ian. You're very fast. You type wow right away before I even announce it. Okay, thank you, Raylene, Ashu, Pikachu, Yvonne, Isaac, Cheryl. Yeah, for those who didn't win yesterday, right, today is your chance to win again. Okay, right, because is going to monitor your responses very closely. For Si-En, please change your chat settings to everyone. If not, admin cannot see your messages, and you cannot win the prize. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Our admin is going to monitor the messages very closely, and she's going to announce the winner at the end of the webinar. Okay. All right. Lorna also. You're still typing to the host and panelists. Lorna, please change your chat settings to everyone. Okay. So they have a fair chance of winning the prize. Okay, so let me do a quick introduction about myself, so at least you know who you are learning from. All right, as you can see, there are a few first-timers here. I'm Jimmy Ling, I'm the founder of gmaths.com. I'm also one of the directors of a Great Solution Learning Center. I graduated in math degree from NUS. All right, in fact, when I was very young, I used to struggle quite a lot in maths. The only reason why I'm sitting down here talking to you all is because I met a number of good mentors in my life who teach me how to learn maths. And that's why I'm here tonight to share with you everything that I know about how to learn maths in an effective way. Okay, I've also met more than 10,000 students learning online me right now. I have more than 2,000 YouTube subscribers. I also feature on the radio and street stunts on how to do well in mathematics. And in my free time, these are some of the books I publish. You can actually download them for free on my website. And over my years of teaching, all right, we got received hundreds of raving reviews. Just like Ziyan got AL1, Ray got AL1, Louis got AL2, Ashesh got AL1, and Dash got AL1. And this despite the increasing difficulty of the PSLE paper. Right? I'm sure you're aware, right? PSLE paper is getting harder and harder. So this shows that our methods really do work. And we really hope that you can take something useful from tonight's webinar. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's just a very quick introduction about myself. And now let's go to the important segment, okay? Why are we conducting this webinar right now? Okay, because there is an important problem to solve now. All right, there's a very, very important problem to solve now. Okay, do you know why is it? I think you all should know, right? Okay, it's the upcoming what? No, not upcoming elections. Elections doesn't, no politics here, okay? Yeah, it's the upcoming PSLE or the upcoming end of year exams, okay? All right, your child is going to sit for the upcoming exams soon, no? Okay, so let me ask you some important questions, right? How do your child feel after receiving the recent results? Okay. Yeah, so some of you type stress, some of you type unhappy. Okay. Yeah, just feel free to share with us what your child feel. Okay. Do your child feel happy? Do your child feel confident? Do your child feel disappointed? Okay, thank you so much, Abil, Revati. All right. Wow, quite a lot of negative comments here. Cheryl say worry.
Indeed.
Okay, later we'll ask you about your math and science result. Okay. Okay, haven't really set in yet. Okay, well, confident. Well, we hear something positive over here. Definitely say not confident. Okay, it's not happy, it's not confident. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And also let me ask you, okay, how many of you are satisfied with your child result? Right, if you are satisfied, type satisfied. If you are not satisfied, type not satisfied. If bo pian, type bo pian, right? Bo pian means no choice lah. What is over is over. Okay. Okay, not so. Right. Some say satisfied. For math only. Okay, good to hear that, Leslie. Nico, not so. Disappointed. Lousy, can do better. Okay, we are not satisfied. Not satisfied, can do better. Okay. Okay, great. And the most important question is, how many of you think that your child have room for improvement? Right. If you think that your child got room for improvement, type me in the chat. Very importantly, okay? Right, how many of you think that your child will room for improvement, okay? In this upcoming 1 month plus to the end of year exams. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Abil, June, Jasmine. Okay. Yep, Ravadi, Jasmine, please start to everyone, Puvisha. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, but of course, as you know, we only left with 1 month plus of PSLE and the final year exams. Is there still time to see improvements? Okay, what do you think, parents? Is there still time? Okay, we only left with so limited time to the exams. Okay, right. So glad all of you are saying yes. Okay, some say no. Okay, right. Yes. Okay. Right. The answer is yes. Just as many of you say, provided your child takes the right action. Okay, everyone please type action in the chat. Okay, right. Your child must take the right action, right? Because if your child doesn't take any action, right, everything is going to remain status quo, and then the result is going to stay the same. Okay, so these are some students who took the right action, right? For example, Nicholas got AR1 for English and AR2 for Maths with just 3 months. Gabriel also, she joined us in the P5 intensive course, which are just 1 month before SA2, and she managed to get 98 upon 100. That's because she takes the right action. And Fuzzy over here also managed to improve from AR4 in prelims to AR1 for PSLE science. Okay, and this is really a tremendous improvement. And all these students, they take the right action. And so your child can also do it also, right? If you want your child to see improvement, right, your child must start taking the right action, okay? Okay, now before we share with you the how, okay, we want to know the why. Why do you want your child to excel in math and science, other than getting good grades for PSLE? All right, why do you want your child to get good grades for PSLE, right? Is it because you want your child to enter dream school? Okay, thank you, Ian. You dream school, type dream school in the chat. Or is it because you want your child to get more choices, right? More career opportunities in the future? Okay, thank you, Felicia. All right. Want to be a scientist? Wow, thank you so much, Aini. In fact, we got one scientist who is a science teacher in our center. Right? I'm sure he'll share with you a lot of good tips. Okay, more opportunity, more choices. Nayati, thank you so much. Dream school. Okay, more choice of school. Yeah, in the lead. Okay, Rupa say good school, more choices and investment. Okay, can progress. Yeah, can progress with more choices. Okay. And also, how many of you agree, right, that math and science can actually improve your child logical thinking, right? Because it's not so much about results, right? We want our child to be more logical thinkers, right? If you agree, type yes in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Leslie. Yeah, no need to wake up so early, okay? Yeah, that's very good motivation, right? You have a school in mind already, All right, yes, okay, of course, we want our child to feel more confident, right? Be more better problem solvers, and of course, be better logical thinkers, okay? We do not want our children to make decisions just based on emotions. We want them to actually make better decisions based on logic. And that's why math and science comes in very important here. All right, so Andy, I'm going to share with you two important tips on how to boost your child's math and science for the upcoming end of year exams. Okay, and for math, okay, your child will need to master the KCA method. Okay, can you please type KCA in the chat? All right, everyone, please type KCA in the chat because you're going to hear myself repeat this again and again later on. Okay, type KCA in the chat. Please not AIC. AIC is yesterday already. All right, yes, thank you so much, KCA. All right, so when your child read the question, what is the first thing that your child must do? What does K stand for? Make a guess. When your child first read a question, what's the first thing your child must do? Okay, is to knowledge, or not so much on knowledge, right? It's actually to spot the what? Thank you, Ian, right? Spot the keywords, okay? Everyone please type keywords in the chat, okay? Right, yes, right, because every problem sum basically tells a story. In order to understand the story better, your child must understand the keywords. If your child don't understand the keywords, then of course your child will not be able to understand the story behind the question. Okay, then we go to C. Okay, may I guess what does C stand for? Okay, thank you so much. I think many of you got it. Marsha, M, Ian, Felicia, Yuan did. Exactly, right? C stand for the concepts. Okay, everyone please type concept in the chat. Okay, so every problem sum, right, is testing on one concept or a few other concepts, right? Sometimes they test a few concepts together. So your child must link the keywords to the concepts, because without the concept, then what's going to happen? If your child don't know a concept, then your child will not know the method to apply. Okay, your child will be very lost on what's the method to apply. All right, so concepts are things like, working backwards, constant total, right, constant difference, assumption, grouping, etc. Okay, and again, I'll be going through some of the concepts later on. And of course, is the concept good enough? What does A stand for? Thank you, Cheryl. Right, you must apply the concept. Okay, right, your child must know how to apply the concept. So with that's where mastery comes in place. Your child must know exactly what method to use to apply the concept. right? Should your child use algebra? Should your child use model? Or should your child use table, etc.? Okay. And again, of course, I'll be going through some examples later on. And for science, Andy, can you please share with the parents the RA method?
Yep, so thank you, Jimmy. So for science, we'll be using the RA method to answer any science exam-based question. So if you can, parents, please type out the 3 letters RA. All right, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Leslie, Joyce, Felicia, Ian, Noah, Annie. Okay, so what is the first letter R? So first letter R is called recall. So parents, could you type out the word recall, please? And also, if you can, write this down on your foolscap paper. Okay, now what exactly does recall the science concepts mean? As your child should have already known, okay, when it comes to understanding or answering any science exam-based question, every science question is always testing your child on a particular concept. So your child must always identify or recall the relevant science concepts. Okay, so that's where it comes in. Then the second R. What is the second R? Wow, very good, Ian. Well, it looks like you have attended a few webinars. You know what is that? It's called realignment. Okay, what does realignment mean? Every single science question, most of the time, there's always an opportunity to resolve misconceptions. A good example I always tell my students and perhaps the parents here tonight is, if your child doesn't know the difference between water vapor and water droplets, then that's where it's a golden opportunity to realign a misconception when your child is practicing a particular question on water cycle. Okay, so that's realignment. And then the last one is apply. So parents, could you type out the word apply? Yeah, so what does apply mean? Apply means you need to apply the concept that your child has learned to the experimental-based questions or real-life scenarios. As you know, right, primary level science now is no longer just simply regurgitating of science knowledge, right? It's no longer that way anymore. They will come up with an example, and your child must apply the concept here. So I will be showing you quite a number of examples, all right, on how you can apply the RA to answer the science exam-based questions.
Okay, yes, thank you so much, Andy. So once again, right, for maths is KCA method, and for science is RA method. Okay, please write this down on your piece of writing pad. Okay, and these two methods, right, are exactly the same methods that we use to teach our students in our all-in-one Eureka program. Okay, as I mentioned just now, our all-in-one Eureka program consists of a live Zoom classes, EDIQ smart learning platform, 24/7 homework help, as well as unlimited marking. And the reason why I call this Eureka program is because we aim to provide as many Eureka moments as possible through any of our services, right? It can be through our live class, it can be through our homework help, it can be from IQ, or it can also be for the review through our marking system. Okay, and these are some of the students who have done well after going through our Eureka program. For example, Yishan managed to get A-star, which is AL1 for math and science. Deepika managed to get AL1 for science and AL2 for maths. And this girl here, Tanya, right, managed to get AL4 for PSLE. AL4 is a perfect score. That means she got AL1 for every single subject. Okay, so now let me ask you, parents, how many of you would like your child to experience the same breakthrough, just like Yishan, Deepika, and Tanya? If you want, type me in the chat. Okay, thank you, Jamie, Ravati, Irene, Jasleen, Aini, Eunice, Ian, Annie. Okay, thank you so much. Now, I'm sure many of you got questions to ask us about this Eureka program, right? Do not worry. Andy and I are going to share a bit more details later on, right? Because right now we are going to an important segment, which is how to boost your child's science for the end of year exams. And with that, I'll pass the stage to Andy.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Okay, can you see my screen? Jimmy, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, very good. All right, parents, a warm welcome to tonight's webinar. Okay, so I noticed that there's always quite a number of parents here that this is your first time attending our webinar. So if you don't mind, okay, I promise to keep it very short and sweet about the brief introduction about myself. So who is this teacher Andy that's going to be sharing with you the science revision tips for tonight? Okay, I'm actually the teacher Andy, and I found the scienceshufu.com, a platform that offers pre-recorded courses, all right, for your child. And I'm also the science partner at Great Solution Learning Center, where I teach science live Zoom classes. So over the past 8 years, I personally taught over 4,000 students, okay, both in online and the pre-recorded space. But now it's not just only me that is teaching science anymore. We have a team of science specialists, all right, that will conduct the science classes also. So I'm just mainly the mascot. Yep, so these are the books that I published. Okay, the 2 books that many parents have find very useful is this Answering Technique Guidebook and also the D1 Must Know Keywords. All right, so these are the tools that has helped the child tremendously when it comes to answering science open questions. Okay. Yep, so 80%, despite the increasing number of our students in enrolling in our classes, we have over 80% of students have managed to achieve AL3 to AL1 grades in the science exams. And these are some of our PSLE 2022 raving testimonials. Okay, you can actually search it from our web. This is Felix. He managed to get AL1 for science, but it's only about a few more months to go. And also this one, all right, you also can manage to get AL1 for science because of the way how we foster a deep understanding and how do you apply to various real life science scenarios. Yep. So in other words, this is what we do, and this is how we have helped countless many students to achieve their desired grade for science. And that's it, parents. Short introduction of myself. Okay, so I think we can kickstart the science segment. As you know, today's seminar is how you can guide your child to answer science questions for the end of year exams. Now, just now we are sharing about the RA method, right? RA method is mainly to answer science questions. Okay, remember RA method is to answer science questions. So don't get confused with last night's webinar. Okay, so parents, I would like to bring to you, I would like to ask you the first question regarding about science, which is, can you please share with me what is your child's latest results? I'm very curious to know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your child just finished your weighted assessment. Ian say 46. 46 out of? 46 out of, could you tell me the total score? If not, I got a scare. Yeah, AL5. Okay, if you don't know the score, you can tell me the AL grade. Yeah. Okay, wow, Kiran Young, full marks. Okay, who is there? No, I need, thank you for sharing. Rella, Bogli, TP, yours is B. I don't understand B. Now they still use B grade? I thought it's all AL grade already. Yep, so Rebati, thank you. Leslin, 33.5 M, AL5, not received yet for prelim. Okay. So it looks like the vast majority have received the results. I see that quite a number of people have done extremely well for MCQs, like Richard Raj. Thank you for sharing. Rati Mala, wow, it is AL1. Sheena, thank you for sharing. Okay, Sirisa, thank you for sharing. And Ju, yep, they're moving on to bite-sizes. And yes, Maslin. So that's why you can share me about the weighted assessment results. Okay, be it the performance test or the written test. Thank you, Therese. Thank you, Rupa. Okay, so it looks like quite a number of parents here. Your child is scoring between, if I'm not wrong, all right, AL4, AL5, all right. There's a small group of people who have managed to get AL1. That is excellent. Or some of you managed to get AL6. Only a minority get AL6, but not to worry. I'll be addressing, all right, all these different segments of parents here whose child is getting all these different grades. Okay. Yep. So why did I show you this? Okay, I'm just going to remind you all tonight, parents, is that when it comes to PSLE science exams, now this may not be relevant yet for P3 to P5 parents, but take note when your child is going to P6 eventually, you need to remember, take note of this marking range really. 56 out of 100 marks is allocated for MCQs. 44 out of 100 marks is allocated for open-ended questions. So parents, tonight, have a look at your child's exam paper. Look at how many marks does your child got for MCQ. If your child did not get the AL1 band for MCQ, please train your child on this segment. Do you understand, parents? If your child did not get AL1 band for MCQs, please train your child on this segment. Why? Why is that so? Why did I emphasize so heavily on the MCQs? Okay. Okay. Kiran said paper has no MCQ only. Okay, then for your case, no chance to improve next year, perhaps when there's more MCQ to do. Yes, because it's a high weightage. And not only that, is easy to score. The key thing is, like what Cheryl has mentioned, is way easier to score the MCQs. Huh? Yeah, it's not about at least pass the paper, Elaine. We want your child to do well for the paper. And to do well for the paper, we need to secure the low-hanging fruits. Exactly. Easy to gain, easy to get the marks. All right. Aim high for the MCQ segments. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that your child must do a lot of MCQs. Okay. In fact, your child must do targeted practice. All right. If you're not sure what kind of MCQ a child must do, actually on our end, we at Grid Solution, we actually have the AdaptIQ, a smart learning digital platform where we have thousands of questions inside there. Yeah, and currently our students have been using now. Yeah, and I'm very happy because when they're doing it, they're actually on their way to doing very well for this segment already. They're actually securing the low-hanging fruits. Yep. All right. So if your child is consistently getting more than 50, you can ignore this advice. All right. You can just focus on OEQ. But for I think the majority over here, please remember, always aim high for this segment, right? Because it's way easier to score. Okay.
Yep. And speaking of MCQ, for maths, the marks is only 20.
Mm.
So science is the only subject there's such a high allocation for marks towards MCQ. So yeah, make sure everyone grab these low-hanging fruits, okay? Everyone, can you please type grab in the chat? Right, all of you must grab this low-hanging fruit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Grab it,
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't waste this opportunity. Yeah. Okay, even for P4, P5, also grab it. Okay, so just now I've mentioned about what is RA, so I'm going to just mention very briefly here. Every science open-ended questions, every science exam-based question, we are going to use this method. All right, recall, realign, and apply. Okay, so that's how we are going to do it. And very soon I'll be showing you some examples. Okay, parents, let us start off with the first myth that I want to improve on tonight. Okay, when it comes to answering science open-ended questions, all right, many of us will think about getting the right answering techniques. Do you agree, parents? Right answering techniques is important, right? Do you agree, parents? Okay, Iris say yes. Ian say yes. No, Aini. Okay, thank you very much, Rupa. Pikachu. Okay, Pikachu, you're still there. Okay, thank you. Shunfu. Okay. So, however, is this enough to to get a full marks for science open-ended questions? The answer is no. Okay, let me tell you why. Okay, to get full marks for science open-ended questions, for each science open-ended questions, there are three steps. Answering technique will help you to resolve the first two steps, whereby you have the correct keywords and you also have the correct phrasing. Parents, may I ask you, have you ever encountered such problem where your child, right, answers open-ended questions, but they have all the keywords, but the teacher still mark them wrong, right? And when they can mark them wrong, right, the teacher was like put comments, say, oh, wrong concept, or something is missing there, the way how they phrase the answer is missing there, right? Yeah, Iris, yeah, Cheryl, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so this is exactly what we are trying to address tonight, okay? Phrasing is extremely important. No point having the correct keywords but use the wrong phrasing, okay? So don't worry, I'll be sharing with you some answering techniques that you can take away, right, that tackles these these are keywords and phrasing, right? The first two steps, keywords and phrasing. So what should be the final ingredient, all right, in order for your child to secure the full marks, all right, in the science open-ended question or the open-ended answer? The key pointer, the last step here is more than just answering technique, which is, parents, please type it out, linking back to the question. Type out the words link back, okay? Link back. Now, when I say link back, right, I don't mean just add in the last statement, Oh, teacher, and you just add in the last statement after you use answering, teacher, add in the last statement, like copy the keywords from the question. No, it is actually more than that. More than that. All right, but before I share with you, all right, what exactly am I talking about? Let me share with you why is linking back so important. By linking the answering technique back to the question, this will ensure that your child does not write out the answers blindly. Right? Concepts are concepts. Your child must apply the concept. Apply a concept is simply means linking back. Okay, so this is extremely important. Okay, so let me share with you an example where quite a number of students, even in my P6 class, when they first joined my class, more than 80% of the students, they never write this concept properly. Now, when it comes to heat gain and heat loss, parents, may I ask you, what level topic is this? What primary level topic is this when it comes to heat? P5, No, your child is most likely have already started learning this in P4 already. It's a P4 topic, right? Usually taught at the end of the year, right? P4 parents, I think you can attest to. Yeah, it's usually taught in P4. And yet it's such an important topic. Why? Because this topic has been used in P5 level. What P5 topic will you use heat gain, heat loss? Water cycle. Exactly, right? P5 topic is a water cycle. Very, very important. And also not only that, in P6, you also need to use this heat gain, heat loss for what? Energy, right? Energy conversion. All right. Gain energy, converted this or converted that. You see that kind of thing. Yes, exactly. So you can see this topic is extremely important. It is like a foundation that will lead your child to doing a higher level topics. Okay. So let me share with you some of the answering techniques relating to heat gain, heat loss. This one that I always teach my students. So parents, if you want, you can take a picture. All right, because we are going to use this answering technique to guide, or rather to answer some open-ended questions. Okay. Yes, it's a very popular question, Cheryl. Very good. All right. Now, what do you notice here, parents? Remember, we are doing realignment. Golden opportunity to do realignment. What's the common mistake that 80% of students, when they first join my class, they always get wrong? They know it's heat gain, but do you know why did they get penalized marks? Because they never tell the teacher, gain heat from where? Very important. They never tell the teacher the heat source exactly. Similarly, the student may write lose heat, but never tell the teacher where does it lose heat to. Right? Because we are basing on the fundamental properties of principles of energy. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. It's converted from one form to another. So it's going to be a bit, it must be a bit more accurate here. All right, thank you, Leslie, for sharing. So gain it from and to. So parents can type up from and to. Okay, so these are the two words that your child must need to have starting from tonight. Okay. Okay, so now let us go through one of the open-ended questions. Tom wanted to use a metal knife to cut a frozen ice cream cake, but he found it difficult to do so. He then placed the knife in a glass of hot water as shown below. Explain why Tom found it easier to cut the ice cream cake by using the knife placed in hot water. So parents, I would like to ask you the first questions relating to this. May I ask you, what is the object that we are talking about here that we need to answer? Is it the ice cream cake that we need to explain and answer? Or is it the hot knife that we need to explain and answer? Quite a lot of people talk about the hot knife, huh? Okay. So is it really the hot knife? All right. Good that you attend tonight's lesson, tonight's webinar. The answer is actually towards the ice cream. We are moving towards the ice cream. Remember, we look at the question, explain why Tom found it easier to cut the ice cream. Why? Exactly, the ice cream. Right? You want the ice cream to what? To gain heat, right? So parents, so what is the first thing that we need to do? Recall. Let's recall. Which concept are we talking about? Which concept are we talking about here? Just now I already covered the two answering techniques, the two concepts already. What is the concept? Heat. Very good, Yuan Tin. All right, it's actually gain heat. Exactly. All right, so once you have the gain heat concept, straight away, we will only apply this answering technique here. Okay, we only apply this answering technique here. Okay, so now let me share with you what is the answer. All right, so let's look at this. Is this answer right or wrong? We know that we need to use this first answering technique, am I right? The recall portion, right? We are done with recall, now we're going to apply. Apply this answering technique. So parents, I want you to look at this statement. Ice cream gains heat from the hot knife. Tom can cut the ice cream. Is it correct or wrong? Okay. Oh, wow. Quite a number of people say it's wrong. Huh? Why is it wrong? Very good. Why is it wrong? Not complete. What do you mean by not complete? What is missing? What do you mean by too weak? Ice cream don't gain heat. That is wrong, Ian. Incomplete explanation. What do you mean by incomplete? Missing hot water. This is 1 mark. So, but we are talking about ice cream, remember? Ice cream is a subject of the equation. It is the main thing we are talking about. Yep. Very good, Sumeta. Very good. Everybody, could you type out this very important keyword called melt? M-E-L-T. Yes, we need to have this word called melt. Precisely when the ice cream melts, does it make it easier for Tom to cut the ice cream using a knife? Answer is yes, right? So that's what I meant by linking back to the question. This is what is meant by linking back. So ice cream gains heat from the hot knife and melts. And that is why Tom can cut the ice cream easily. Do you understand, parents? If you understand so far, type in yes in the chat box, okay? Yeah, or in fact, use the word eureka. Yes, I think we use it too frequently from yesterday already. So let's change the word to eureka. Yeah, eureka. All right, very good. All right, at least you learn something. So you can see, parents, we are trying to link back to the question. All right, answering technique can only help your child thus far. You must always remember that there's a change in state. The change in state is a melting here. And when that part of the ice cream in contact the hot knife melts, then Tom can cut the ice cream. Such is the detail that your child must have. All right. Yeah. Now I'd like to share with you another version.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention linking back. Yeah, this is another statement they got to link back. So, okay, very, very important. Okay. Now I'd like to share with you another version. This is the one that I don't really recommend. But however, some students will tend to write this. Parents, would you like to have a quick look at this second one? Not recommended answer. Hot knife loses heat to the ice cream melts. Tom can cut the ice cream easily. All right, why? This statement I don't really recommend. Yeah, why? Because you can see it's a bit confusing, right? Firstly, you talk about the hot knife loses heat to the ice cream. The point of reference is the ice cream, exactly, Shun Fu. All right, then suddenly, you see at the first part of the statement, talk about hot knife, then suddenly you talk about ice cream. Right, to the teacher who read this, I can get a bit confused. Yeah, can get a bit confusing. Yeah, all right. So that is why when it comes to melting, right? Remember, melting is a gain heat process. Always take note, pairing of keywords. Gain heat melts. Lose heat freezes. You see the pairing of words? Okay, so that's how you can help make sure that your child has answered the question accurately. Okay, all right. So that is the idea here. I don't recommend this, but now I'll mark it wrong. Yeah, I'll mark it wrong. Yeah, I want the student to be precise, and we are going to use the first version.
How about the hot knife loses heat to the ice cream and causes it to melt? Then will it be correct?
Same thing, it's the same thing here.
Same thing.
Causes it. It refers to the ice cream, right? Yeah. And that brings me to a second point, parents. Just now, Jimmy mentioned about the word eat, IT. Okay, I'm not sure about you, but based on my sensing, a lot of students, when they first join my class, I can tell you they abuse the word called eat, IT. Yeah, to the point where everything also eat. Can you imagine if a science open-ended question has multiple objects? What is the eat that the student referring to, right? So parents, you may want to take note. The word IT, cut it down, especially when your child has been using it too frequently. Okay, take note of that. Okay, I would like to go through another question. We are going to use our RRA again one more time. Okay, yeah, so this is a separate question, parents. So Tristan set up an apparatus to keep his water warm for a longer period of time. He wanted to find out how the number of stands affect the temperature of water in his apparatus. So whenever I see such questions, parents, I will tend to tell my students to highlight it. Why? Okay, very good, W. Don't use it to be more specific. Yep. So why did I ask my students to highlight this? In fact, right, parents, when you're guiding your child, right, or when your child is practicing worksheets, right, if a child did not highlight anything, yeah, this is something that is something that you can remind your kids. Yeah, because they tend to miss out important keywords, important clues in the question. So what is so important about this? Yes, exactly. This is the aim of the experiment. Now, when it comes to the aim of experiment, parents, are you aware that there's this thing called change and measure variable? Now, if you're not aware, it's okay, all right? Yeah, it's okay because you need to, that's where the experienced tutor have to come in and step in to help, all right? So this is a change variable, this is a measure variable, all right? So this is a CV and this is the MV, okay? Okay, so now we are doing the recall. So now, parents, I want you to focus your attention on this next statement. Tristan found out the temperature of water in setup Y decreases slower than in setup X. So these two groups of keywords, what concept do we need to recall here? First step, right? RRA. What is the first concept that we need to recall? Heat, okay, not specific enough. You need to be more specific here already. Temperature, no. Remember the two concepts I told you? Heat gain or heat loss. You need to be precise. Cannot be heat gain / loss. That is not precise enough because each heat gain or heat loss use different answering technique. It must be heat loss. Well done. Okay, heat loss. Okay, so once you know the heat loss, then straight away your child's brain will start to associate. Oh, what's a typical explanation for heat loss? Losing heat to somewhere, right? So that is always the first step, all right, to analyzing the science open-ended questions, right, to answering science open-ended questions. However, that's not all, parents. We still have another important clue that we have not identified yet. In fact, could you identify for me? What is a clue here based on these two pictures? What clues is that? Wow, Ian, very fast. Okay, parents, do you see this too? What is this? This is a change variable, right? Setup Y has 2 legs, 2 stands. Setup X has only 1 stand. So it's actually okay, if you tell me different setup, right, not good already. Yeah, it's not good at all. Yeah, because in science, when it comes to science open-ended answers, we need to drill down to the scientific keywords. We need to associate with the scientific keywords or the concept. So what does these 2 stands refer to? they are referring to the factors affecting the rate of heat loss, right? Just now you identify as heat loss, recall. But we have not recalled fully, no, we need to recall one step further, which is what factors? Surface area. In fact, right, many of you have typed out surface area, I would say is not good enough. Not good enough. Lucky you attend today's webinar. I think no. We need to be a bit more precise. It is actually the exposed surface area. Yeah, very good, Sun Fu, Chen Yang. Yeah, all right, so parents, take note. Exposed surface area is important here. Okay, yep. So now we are fully down the recall, right? So this is the recall portion, factors affecting the rate of heat loss, exposed surface area. Okay, yeah, parents, please type out exposed surface area if you can. Yeah, thank you very much. So now we shall show you a real life example. Remember, parents, this slide here and this slide here, they are interrelated. Okay, so what examiners like to do is they like to come out with a science experiment, and from there what do they do next? They come out with a real life example. Science experiment, real life example. And after that, they ask you to relate these two. Right? Parents, have you seen such question before? Have you seen such question before? Yeah, these two are always relatable. Yeah, okay, this is a very common type of trendy kind of question. If you can, please do this. Usually such question, right, is worth up to 4 or 5 marks really. Yeah, 4 or 5 marks. Yeah, part A, part B, part C, right? Yeah. So the diagram below shows a picture of bird F. It spends a lot of time wading in the water to look for food. When the water in the lake is cold, the bird stands on one leg based on Tristan's experiment. Now, parents, you see I purposely highlight this. So we need to base on the experimental results. Explain why the bird stands on one leg. So parents, if you that's right, so you won't lose too much heat, you don't get the marks really. CISG training, you get only half a mark or even 0. There's no linking back. You're not linking back. Remember, we are practicing on linking back to the science open-ended questions. So first thing, let's do RA. What is the first one? Recall. Factors affecting the rate of heat loss, which is exposed surface area. And the factors affecting rate of heat loss, there's a new answering technique. All right, later you can take a picture. Don't take now. This is how it looks like. All right, I always train my students to always use this phrasing. Okay, so most of them are already ingrained in this already because they've been with me for months. They know how to write. So now, parents, let me show you an answer, whether if this is right or wrong. So remember, recall, realign, apply, right? Is there any realignment here? I share already. Heat loss to somewhere. That's realignment. Apply is the answering technique. So let's see this. Is this correct? The bird F has a smaller exposed surface area, and bird F loses heat slowly. Obviously, this is wrong, right? One look at it, you know that it's wrong. Oh, Pikachu say yes, wrong already. Sorry, at least you participate. Good. Okay. So what is wrong? What is wrong here? Remember, you have the answering, then it'll help you already. You can compare. What is wrong? Let's talk about the obvious one. What is happening here? Loses what? Loses heat. Well, loses heat. What's missing here? To nothing exactly, right? They never mentioned exactly. To where exactly? So that's the first mistake. Well done. Okay. So we are done with the first mistake here. What's the other mistake? Loses heat to where? Very good, to the surrounding or whatever. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay. What else? The feet. No, you don't have to talk about the feet. You can talk about the legs will do. Right? Don't need to come out with your own new a body part. Just use the keyword here that's found in the question. Right? Okay, very good. The bird F or the what is okay, or the feet itself, very good. Or the legs, yeah. What else? Exposed surface area to the cooler water. Well done, Rupa. All right, people, you all must look at Rupa's answer. Well done. Okay, when it comes to exposed surface area, parents, you need to link back to the question. Exposed surface area in contact with what? With the cold water. Exactly. So that is why these are the two big mistakes that many students, when they first practice such questions on heat gain, heat loss, they tend to make one. Because they thought that exposed surface area, right? I just write this one, I can get the answer already. But you look at this. If you don't link back to the question, in every statement, you see that in every statement, I will always try my best to link back to the question, and your child must also do that. Okay? Linking back to the question is extremely important. All right? Yeah. Okay? So that is what I would like to share with you here. Now, if you want to take a picture, you can go and take a picture. Okay? So let me share with you the correct answer. So now that you have the answering technique, Okay, we are going to apply it. So what is here? What should be the first blank that we need to fill in? What's the first blank that we need to fill in? The swan, no, there's no such thing as swan. We don't assume this is a swan here. We use the words found in the question. Yeah, the legs of bird F, very good. Okay, yeah, very good. You're more precise than me. The legs of bird F, okay, has a what? Larger or smaller? Larger or smaller? Smaller, well done. Okay, and next one, exposed surface area in contact with the cold water. All right. Yeah, so remember, the linking back to the question is extremely important. And after that, we will talk about the bird F again, the legs of bird F, very good. All right, some of you tell me the leg of bird F loses heat to where? Is it the surrounding? Is it always the surrounding? No, right? It's the cold water in this example. Yeah, or the cooler leg. Okay, Shunfu, well done. And finally, we are linking back to the question, how does this benefit the bird? Bird can spend more time in the water looking for food. Yeah. Okay, this is the linking back. Now, some parents will say, oh, teacher, can I put down the bird can keep himself warm for a longer time? Is it correct to say the bird will keep itself warm for a longer time? All right. Some school teachers will reject it. Even I also reject it. Why? Because the question has really put the context really. Look for food. So remember linking back? We are going to link back to looking for food. All right. So you can spend more time looking for food. And will there be a higher chance for the bird to find food? Yes, it can.
Wow, this is a very, very tricky question.
Mm.
So in your experience, Andy, how many students will miss out the word looking for food because they fail to read the top sentence at the top of the question?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, 80-90% when they first do it.
80-90%. Okay,
this
parents.
is parents, do you notice that this is an adaptations question? P6 topic. And you can see we need to apply the P4 concept of heat gain, heat loss. All right. Okay, so that is why the idea here is people, parents, I know that your child may have some other science knowledge that you have watched from National Geographic or whatever, but take note, follow what the question tell you, use the necessary clues, apply the necessary clues, link the necessary clues, all right, based on what the question tell you. Okay, yep, so this is the part here that we need to use. Yes, Cindy, all right, please type out in the panel, in the Q&A, thank you. Yes, you will be penalized if you don't link back, all right? So parents, I'll share with you 2 examples on linking back. Please remember, link back to the question. Okay, as much as possible, link each statement back to the question. Not just only the last statement, but every single statement in the child's answer, you try your best to link back. Okay, but don't overdo it, people. All right, the key aim is to follow answering technique, keywords, key phrasing. All right, this linking back is an add-on, the third step, right, to securing the full marks, which I believe by now your child should be quite good in the keywords and phrasing already, right? Left only 1.5 to 2 more months for your end of year exam for P3 to P5, or even at most 4 to 5 more weeks, right? Slightly over 4 weeks for PSLE. So you should know the roughly what is the keyword and the phrasing really. So these are some of the students, right, who have been joining our lessons. These are the results of the P5 students. All right, we have this student, Loki. He has managed to get these grades, all right, for his open-ended segment, that's booklet B, 38 out of 44, which is a very impressive grade, given that it's a very difficult open-ended paper for him. And Loki has been with me for the past 2 years already, and now he's P6. The last I heard from him is he managed to get a DSA, to enter into one of the top schools. All right, because of his good grades. All right, if I'm not wrong, it's NUS high, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so that's Loki. And we have Paul Teo also, right? Managed to get AR1 and consistently doing very well. Harshil, Janavi, and Jintek. Yeah, these are all my other students. And you can see, right, all these students, they also have a similar problem as your child. Keywords missing, phrasing missing, did not link back. And we train up on these 3, they will see the improvement in the marks already. All right, yep. Okay, parents, would you like to learn the next, all right, myth that I want to shatter tonight? All right, if you would like to learn, you can type in Eureka in the chat box, please. All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Pikachu. Thank you, Eunice, Noaini, Sheena, Jasmine, Rupa. Okay. So the next myth I want to improve or even want to shatter tonight is parents think to boost your child's revision is to do questions by the topics. All right. Given that there's only 1 to 2 months left for the end of year exams, you have 2 choices. Do you ask your child to practice topical questions? Or do you ask your child to practice more exam-based questions that test 2 to 3 concepts together? In other words, 2 to 3 different topics together. Both. Okay, some say both. Ian say yes. Yun Tin say number 2, everything. Why did you have in 1 to 2 months? Everything. No need to do other subjects. I'm just joking. If you have time, you can do both. Okay? Yeah. What is exam-based? Exactly. Rupa has mentioned about exam-based. What exactly is exam-based? All right. Now, parents, if you look at those past set papers or what, I know that your first immediate solution is to tell your child to do past set paper after past set paper. Okay, I have, to me, right, when it comes to past set paper, it is mainly about, going through everything, all the different topics, all the different concepts. It can be very confusing for a child. Right? Your child is hopping across everywhere. In fact, right, to sharpen your child's tools or revision progress, I would recommend, right, given that there's only 1 or 2 months left, your child could have already learned many of the, has already understood most of the concept. They know how it works already. The aim of these 1 or 2 months, right, parents, remember, write this down, stretch your child's understanding of the concept. Parents, can you type out the word stretch? S-T-R-E-T-C-H. Stretch it. You want to practice more challenging based questions, more difficult questions, to push them, to stretch them so that they can, all right, achieve a breakthrough. If your child is getting AL4, get AL2. Your child is getting AL3, get AL1, something like that. Or AL5, try to get AL3 or even AL2. So stretch your child's understanding, okay, by practicing on the more difficult questions. Yeah. So what do I mean by more difficult questions? Usually they combine 2 or 3 concepts together. Have you seen such question before? All right. So you may have not seen, or you may have seen. Don't worry, I'll share with you some examples. Okay, so parents is about testing your child on, it's about practicing questions that test 2 or 3 different concepts together. All right. And currently, the trend now is because there's so many application-based questions, sometimes real-life application-based question will involve multiple concepts. Yeah. Don't believe? Don't worry. Let me show you an example. Okay, so parents, let's have a look at this question. This is about plants. The instrument shown below is used to measure water uptake by a plant. As water is taken up, the bubble will move along the glass tube. Okay, so describe the pathway taken by the water as it moves from the glass tube into the surrounding air. So parents, let's recall. Do you know what are the concepts tested here? All right, let's talk about the first one. How come the water is entering the plant? How come the water enters the plant? What concept is that? Very good. All right, roots. All right, it's a matter of roots. So what's the function of roots? Roots absorb water, right? Very good. So that's the first one, right? Roots absorb water. Very good. What's about the second one? Okay, parents, you see, I'm asking you guiding questions to guide you to the correct answer. So what is happening in the water inside the roots? Very good. Elaine, plant transport system, but not good enough. What is the specific plant part that is responsible for transporting water? All right, very good. Water carrying tubes. Felicia Fu, take note, there's a hyphen there in your water carrying. To Pikachu also, to Iris, so take note, when you guide your child, right, the water and the hyphen, the carrying must be there also. Okay, or xylem tubes, very good, Sahana. But parents, you don't have to learn xylem. This is usually taught in a higher level. Okay, so water carrying tube is good enough. Okay, very good. So functional water carrying. This is the second concept. What's the last one? Remember, parents, the question is asking for what? Water leaves into the surrounding air. What's the last one? What's the last concept? Matter, no. It starts with letter S. Lucid, no. Yeah, something got to do with lucid. No, not really. Loss of water vapor. The child have already learned stomata? Transpiration, exactly. All right, but however, we only learn about loss of water vapor through the stomata. So parents, do you see here? A simple, seemingly simple question. And yet they test your child 3 different concepts from 3 different topics. Expose stem absorbs water. This is under the P3 topic of plant parts. Function of water carrying tube is the P5 topic of plant transport system. Function of stomata is usually taught either if a child learn early P4 plants water, P5 water cycle, or P6 topic of energy in food. All right, so these 3 concepts, you can see they are being used together. Right, parents, you understand so far? You understand that Eureka in the chat box, all right? So I will know that you have so far followed, all right, what is the Jenny trying to share here tonight. Okay, yep. So this is the tree process. Now that you understand that we need to recall this tree, all right, it's going to get a bit complicated. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you, okay? This is what's meant by challenging questions, parents, okay? There's a reason why it's called challenging. So when it comes to the functional rules, we need to recall the necessary answering techniques, rules that hold a plant firmly or rules that hold water. Apply answering techniques to the plant transport system, water carrying tubes, transport water, blah, blah, blah. And the function of stomata, plant give off water vapor through stomata. So by now, your child should have already memorized this. So again, parents, I give you a few seconds, you can take a picture. Okay, so now it's time to show you how to answer them together. So when it comes to such question, right, with teacher, 3 different parts, is there an easier way? No easier way. The only way is you break up into smaller parts, right? It's like a big project, you break up into smaller portions. So let us talk about the first part, describe the pathway. So what happened? Okay, we are going to talk about we are going to apply the first answering technique, which is the function of this. So parents, let us start describing the pathway of the water already. The what absorbs the water? Isn't it easy? It looks very easy, right? Okay, quite a number of you have mentioned about the word roots. Good job. You can pat yourself on the back tonight again because you all got it wrong. It is not the roots. There is no roots here. There is no roots here. It should be the stem or the exposed stem. All right, so you can see, right, linking back to the question again. We are not here to blindly apply the answering technique. Okay, next one, apply the function of the plant transport system. So what is the first keyword here? Just now some of you have got already. Which carrying tube? The water carrying tubes, exactly. All right, in a plant, transports the water to where? To where? Which part of the plant will it allow the water to be lost? All parts. If you write all parts wrong already, this way you're not linking back to the question. You're not applying the answering technique. Is to the leaves or the stomata. Very good. Okay, to the stomata or the leaves. Very good. And finally, we apply the answering technique on the stomata, and the leaves then give out water vapor through the stomata. Good. All right, parents, do you understand so far? Eureka moment. All right, if you understand that Eureka, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's how we break up the explanation into multiple parts. All right. So there's always a sequence of events on parents. If you find it to be very complicated, all right, take note. Yeah, you may want to seek a professional help already. Okay. Yeah, this is the part. Okay, another example. All right. All right. I want you to practice and apply the RA. So Mary took 2 green leaves. This is a separate question, by the way. Mary took 2 green leaves, X and Y, from the same plant. She coated one side of each leaf with a thick layer of transparent paint immediately as stated in the table on the right. After the paint has dried, the leaves were then soaked in separate beakers filled with water. The beakers are placed in a brightly lit room. So whenever you see leaves, whenever you see leaf coated with this, whenever you see, okay, never mind, I better highlight. Yeah, leaves, air bubbles, coated with paint. Parents, how many concepts are tested here? Pikachu, stop spamming. Admin, take note. Yeah, you want to remove him if you spam one more time. So recall, how many concepts are tested here? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, it's 2 concepts. Okay, and what are they? What is the first one? When you talk about leaves, what is the first thing they're going to do? How come leaves can produce air bubbles? All right, this is a P6 concept called photosynthesis. Well done. All right, then what about the second concept? Parents, could you talk about the word photosynthesis? Yeah, thank you. Water vapor is released. So what is the second concept? Respiration? No, it's not about respiration. Yes, it's transpiration, but primary level students are not taught the word transpire. So in fact, they learn this longer phrasing is called the function of the stomata, which is the leaves give off water vapor through the stomata, which is another word for transpiration. All right, yeah, okay. So these are the 2 concepts that your child needs to apply. So far, so good. So we are done with the first R. Now we are going to show you the answering the RA, remember? So I'm going to show you the RA now. So what's the answering technique for the functional stomata? Oh, quite a lot. Again, parents don't write down, later I'll give you time to take picture. Now is a golden opportunity to do realignment. This way, if you have experience, you can go, this is a golden opportunity to check on your child's understanding. Do you know that both sides of the leaves have stomata? All right? And which side of the leaf has more stomata? This is something that your child may overlook. Which side of the leaf has more stomata? Actually, the underside. Exactly. Okay, very good. So there's a good chance to realign the concept. Your child's misconception. So you can see RA we have been using. And when you apply the answering technique for photosynthesis, this is what your child has already learned. All right. A lot of factors. And you can see, right, these are the phrasing that the child needs to know and use it properly. And the word more or less, comparative words. Now, to the P3 to P4 students and P5 students, take note. You need not use the word photosynthesis because it's not taught in your school yet. You will only learn this in the end of P5 or P6. You are also not even taught about carbon dioxide gas, but not to worry, the phrasing is still relevant, but shorter for you. Plants capture more or less sunlight to make food. That's it. Easy, P3, P4 parents, all right? Let me say one more time. All you need to do is just to explain using the keywords that I did not highlight here. Plants capture more or less sunlight to make food. That's it. Okay, to make more or less as food. But in P6, I'm sorry, because you learn more concept, you need to use more details. Okay. Okay, so now, parents, armed with all this knowledge already, RRA, it's time to apply. I want you to look at this statement. Let me know, what do you think? Is this right or wrong? Which leaf will produce more air bubbles? Okay, let me guide you first. Only the top pane is coated, right? With a transparent pane, correct? So, means at the bottom, most of the stomata is exposed, right? Only the top is coated. So most of the stomata is not coated. So in other words, you should expect to see most stomata in defect. So defect is correct. Parents, do you understand that? Right? Understand? You can type Eureka in the chat box. Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you. So now we understand why it's defects already, because most of the stomata are not covered by the pane. So do you expect to see more bubbles? Of course. You see, you understand the concept. Easy for MCQ. But open-ended question, that's it really. Okay. Details are missing here and there. Okay, what do you think, parents? Do you think this answer is right or wrong? Okay, some people have already typed out already. The answer is wrong. Okay, and why is the answer wrong? You're right. Why the answer is wrong? What is wrong here? Parents, to help you to narrow down, to quickly identify the mistake. Oops, I just share it. You see this statement? Okay. X absorb light using chloroplast, taking carbon dioxide and water to photosynthesize food. Is this not complete? This is more than complete, you know. This is not complete. This is more than complete. If I look at this statement, I just bracket in red color. Right? The student just wallow in everything. Because based on what the student memorized, oh, teacher, you tell me apply already, I apply. This is not applying. This is copy-paste. Primary level science cannot copy-paste anymore. Okay? In fact, the question is asking, why is there more air bubbles? Is it to trap more sunlight? Or is it because of what? Okay? In other words, the student has wallowed in all the factors. Yes, unnecessary concepts, Sahana has mentioned. Right? Yeah. And not only that, why did the student mention about food? Food is no use here. The question is asking for air bubbles. So don't you talk about food, just talk about oxygen. Okay? So these are two main mistakes, and there's no linking back. And also there's no missing function of stomata. Exactly. What a pity, you know, this student, right, will get 0 marks already. Do you see that? Even though they have the necessary keywords like photosynthesis on this, 0.
Why think so much they get 0 marks?
Yeah, 0 marks already. What a
very
pity.
sad, huh?
Yeah, right? So parents, take note, applying concept, linking back, extremely important. Answering technique, don't save your child marks if you don't know how to link back to the question. Okay, and that's exactly what we do for our students. Yeah, very, very important. Okay, so let me share with you the correct answer. First one, we need to provide the evidence. Most of the stomata in X are not blocked or covered compared to Y. So I just compare the stomata. And then after we talk about the photosynthesis process, you see, parents, what am I talking about here? Which factors allow you to produce more oxygen gas? Because most of the stomata is no block, right? The factor is more dissolved carbon dioxide is taken in. If you tell me trap more sunlight, you also get wrong. You also get wrong. Yeah, because like we mentioned, they are placed in a brightly lit room. And it's a transparent pane. Means that it allows all light to pass through. All right? So you cannot use the word sunlight. So you can see the tricky part here, right? Choosing the correct science concept, the factors affecting photosynthesis. That is the difficult one. Okay? And after that, not only that, the teacher is not going to let you go, let your child go, because you need to apply the concept on stomata. And then after that, you can answer the question already. All right, parents, that is the answer that I'm sharing here tonight. If you understand, you can type Eureka in the chat box, okay? Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, very good. So, parents, all right, I know this is a bit heavy here, all right, for science, because 1 to 2 more months left. I feel that to make this webinar very effective, useful, practice some of the challenging questions, stretch your child on the understanding of science concept. And to do that, identify questions that test multiple concepts at the same time. Okay, identify the weak concepts, look at the mistakes, do targeted practice, read the question carefully, and finally link back to the question. All right, this is always the case. All right, parents do take note.
Andy, how do you spot questions that test 2 or 3 concepts together? Are they usually the last few questions of the OEQ questions?
I can't say for sure, because I've seen a lot of past paper, too many already. Some of them, they are very evil. You know what they do? They purposely put very difficult questions at the start. Why? Parents, you know why they want to put it at the start? They want to waste your child's time. They want to hopefully see whether your child can build high management skills, which is also another important aspect. Yeah, exactly, Sahana. So what matters most is, generally, I would say, generally speaking, it can be the last few. Yeah, but I can't say for sure that is actually exactly the rule of thumb. Actually, this one requires experience. Yeah, requires experience, and a professional teacher can help in that. A professional teacher can help in that. Yeah, for me, I look at it, I know immediately that's a difficult question because I've seen too many. Our teachers also know. Yeah, and we can give your child a targeted practice. Okay, so these are some of the students who have benefited, all right, from the targeted practice. Well, we stretch the child's mind when it comes to understanding the concepts, and you can see, right, this Xiongvin, all right, she's a P5 student, and last time she and she has managed to maintain AR1 grade all the way, and I'm very, very proud of her. Yep. So the reason why she can maintain is because we have been stretching her mind, her understanding of concept, despite having more topics to learn. Remember, P5 student, a lot more topics to learn, okay, compared to P4. And she has managed to consistently do that. So credit must go to her and the parents. Yep. So if she can do it, I'm pretty sure your child can also see some improvements too. Right? Yeah. Okay. So now that is all I'll be sharing for science. I'll pass on to Jimmy, who will be sharing about math.
Thank you, Andy. All right, thank you so much. How many of you have learned something useful from teacher Andy? If you learned something useful, please type Eureka in the chat. Okay, thank you so much. Right, because we are now going to go to the maths component. It's time to do some number crunching, okay? Right, I was really mind blown about the things that Andy has shared, especially about the linking back to the question, okay? Because it was so obvious and yet so many of our students miss out on that point. So please make sure your child is able to link back to the question when it comes to the science question in the final year exams. All right, I saw some of you who came in late just now. All right, some of you probably missed out my short intro. I'm the founder of gmaths.com. My name is Jimmy Ling. I'm also one of the directors of Great Solution. All right, and these are some of my credentials. I was featured on the radio as well as Straight Stumps on how to giving tips for students to excel their maths. And these are some of the books I publish. Right, you can actually buy this book from any of your nearest popular bookstore. Okay, this is the PSLE Maths Specimen Papers. Okay, so with that, let's go to the first myth for the night. To be good in math, my child must memorize formulas. Okay, parents, how many of you agree that it's important to memorize formula for maths? If you agree, type agree in the chat. Okay, we all know that maths, there are a lot of formulas, right? Right, there are things like circle. Well, I'll say no, don't agree. Right, because I put a myth down there. Okay, but actually in maths, it's important to memorize formulas, okay? It's very, very important to memorize formulas, okay? Right, especially what sort of formulas are we talking about? All right, can you recall? area and parameter, right? We got area of triangles, area of circles, circumference of circle. If your child still cannot memorize those formulas by now, wow, jialat lah. Only one to pay Xiaoyi, you make sure your child better go and copy down the formula at least 100 times and memorize them, okay? Right, because if your child can't even know the formula, then your child will be very lost on how to solve the question. And not just area and parameter, you know, even a question like patterns, right? Do you know patterns? There are also some formulas that your child need to know, right? Of course, some problem sums also, right? There are also some formulas that your child need to apply, which you're going to show later on. Okay, but however, right, memorizing formulas is not good enough, all right? It's more importantly, is about what? What is the missing word here? Your child need to what? How the formulas work instead of just memorizing. What is the missing word here? Anyone can make a guess? Very good, Felicia. It's about understand. Everyone type understand in the chat, okay? Right, it's more important to understand how the formula works, how the formulas are being derived, right? Instead of just memorizing and applying the formulas blindly, okay? It's very, very important to understand how the formula works and how to derive the formula, right? Instead of just memorizing. Okay, why is that so? Right, because if your child can understand how it works, okay, your child will be able to apply the formula when the question changes. Okay, we have seen many students who just memorize the formula, and when the question change a little bit, that's where they get confused because they are not too sure whether they can still apply the same formula to solve the question. So in order to overcome that, your child must have a full, complete understanding. Can you please type complete in the chat, everybody? Right, your child must have a full, complete understanding of the formulas in order to apply effectively to solve maths questions. Okay, so with that, let's look at a very, very common exam question on excess and shortage.